The koala hoped the director would take it back, but it was kicked away. No one cares about a faded internet star. He then took out a tranquilizer and tried to inject the little snake. Now fully understanding humans, the koala shouted a signal at the critical moment. 3 Tasmanian devils rushed out from the forest and knocked the director down. The little snake was saved. The other 3 animals were also rescued. Under the attack of the devils, the director was quickly driven back. The animals finally escaped the pursuit. On the way to the wilderness, they received a lot of help. Bats helped them pass through a cave. Dung beetles taught them how to avoid cattle. A wild boar used disguise to avoid human sight. As they approached the wilderness, the koala met a beautiful companion. It picked up a spider to wipe its mouth, then grabbed Moses to fix its hair, and even cleaned its teeth, then quickly ran to meet the beauty. The little snake led everyone forward. Soon they saw the inland wilderness. Many animals peeked out from the mountains. Many looked just like them, but just as they got excited, the animals in the mountains all hid. At that moment, the ground began to shake. A convoy rushed in. Soon the animals were surrounded by humans. The leader was the director. In a moment of distraction, the 3 little creatures were captured. The boy came to grab them. The little snake was so frightened that it fell onto him. He waited, but nothing happened. He slowly opened his eyes and realized the snake was just as scared. Only then did he understand. It would not hurt him. Instead, he had been hurting it. At that moment, the snake was grabbed by the director and thrown into a box. On the way back, the boy reflected on his actions. So he pushed the snake out of the car. Although it gained freedom, it still missed its captured friends. So it chased after them, but could not catch the vehicle. Feeling sad, it watched them leave, then returned to the wilderness for help. But the others were too afraid to leave. At that moment, when it felt helpless, the koala suddenly returned. It had always seen itself as a star, but was driven away by its own kind. Now it only had these friends, so it decided to join the snake to rescue the others. They came to a desert fire station and drove out a fire truck. While the director was driving, he suddenly noticed something behind him. It was the koala chasing in a fire truck. He opened the ladder. The snake climbed onto it and moved closer to its friends. On the way, it was hit by a wooden board, almost falling off. Climbing back up, it dodged attacks and soon reached its friends. Suddenly, the call appeared. They then realized no one was driving. The ladder swung them away. The lizard said this rescue was terrible, so it decided to act on its own. It provoked the scorpion, making it scream. The sharp sound shattered the glass. Meanwhile, the koala and snake took a tricycle and finally rescued everyone. They escaped toward the valley. The director even pulled out a rocket launcher. This time he wanted to eliminate them, but at the critical moment, the view was blocked. It was the animals from the wilderness. They came to help. Even the koala's group returned. They took away the launcher. Animals on the mountain pushed down huge rocks. The convoy was scattered. Even the animals were forced onto the director's car, but the car was not safe. A giant rock followed behind. Just as it was about to hit, they were carried away by the ladder. Before they could react, the fire truck rushed toward a cliff. At the critical moment, the director ran to the driver's seat and stepped on the brake, stopping the truck at the edge. But unexpectedly, another rock came from behind. The truck fell off the cliff, leaving only the ladder swinging. At the other end of the ladder, the boy was hanging in the air, in great danger. The animals tried to help, using many methods, but nothing worked. Seeing the boy about to fall, the snake became anxious. When the director thought it would attack his son, the snake grew angry and bit his arm, then extended its tail to the koala so it could hold the boy. At that moment, the director understood everything. At the final second, he saved his son. As they hugged, the koala noticed the snake was no longer moving. It turned out to be only shed skin. The snake had transformed, becoming even more beautiful. The director held them in his arms and kept apologizing. He had hurt them, yet they saved his son. He looked at the snake and remembered when it was born. Now it had grown up, becoming kind and graceful. At that moment, his heart changed. He decided to release them back to the wilderness. After returning home, they saw a loving pair of toads. Not long after being apart, they had so many children, they could not even count them. The toad told everyone that all the help along the way was arranged by the leader. Only then did they realize the leader was the big crocodile. Hope you follow me. I will bring you more great stories.